suspension or permanent disabling of accounts, and restrictions on liking, commenting, sharing, or reposting. It's also found restrictions on tagging or following other accounts, limited use of meta features, and shadow banning users. That means a significant drop in the visibility of their posts, stories, and accounts.
Free Palestine! No one's free until Palestine is free!
Human Rights Watch says Meta has silenced posts in support of Palestine on Instagram and Facebook. It says the suppression is systemic and global, amounting to what seems to be the largest wave of censorship of content about Palestine to date. The rights group reviewed 1,050 cases of online censorship from more than 60 countries. They were largely English. Nearly all of them featured peaceful content in support of Palestine. The organisation says that in more than 300 cases, users were unable to appeal Meta's removal of content or accounts effectively. It's identified 6 patterns of censorship, content removal, suspension or permanent disabling of accounts, and restrictions on liking, commenting, sharing, or reposting. It's also found restrictions on tagging or following other accounts, limited use of certain Meta features, and shadow banning users. That means a significant drop in the visibility of their posts, stories, and accounts.
Free Palestine! No one's free until Palestine is free!
Human Rights Watch says Meta has silenced posts in support of Palestine on Instagram and Facebook. It says the suppression is systemic and global, amounting to what seems to be the largest wave of censorship of content about Palestine to date. The rights group reviewed 1,050 cases of online censorship from more than 60 countries. They were largely in English. Nearly all of them featured peaceful content in support of Palestine. The organisation says that in more than 300 cases, users were unable to appeal Meta's removal of content or accounts effectively. It's identified 6 patterns of censorship, content removal, suspension or permanent disabling of accounts, and restrictions on liking, commenting, sharing, or reposting. It's also found restrictions on tagging or following other accounts, limited use of certain Meta features, and shadow banning users. That means a significant drop in the visibility of their posts, stories, and accounts.
Free Palestine! No one's free until Palestine is free!
Human Rights Watch says Meta has silenced posts in support of Palestine on Instagram and Facebook. It says the suppression is systemic and global, amounting to what seems to be the largest wave of censorship of content about Palestine to date. The rights group reviewed 1,050 cases of online censorship from more than 60 countries. They were largely in English. Nearly all of them featured peaceful content in support of Palestine. The organisation says that in more than 300 cases, users were unable to appeal Meta's removal. It's identified 6 patterns of censorship, content removal, suspension or permanent disabling of accounts, and restrictions on liking, commenting, sharing, or reposting. It's also found restrictions on tagging or following other accounts, limited use of certain Meta features, and shadow banning users. That means a significant drop in the visibility of their posts, stories, and accounts.
Free Palestine! No one's free until Palestine is free!
Human Rights Watch says Meta has silenced posts in support of Palestine on Instagram and Facebook. It says the suppression is systemic and global, amounting to what seems to be the largest wave of censorship of content about Palestine to date. The right group reviewed 1,050 cases of online censorship from more than 60 countries. They were largely in English. Nearly all of them featured peaceful content in support of Palestine. The organisation says that in more than 300 cases, users were unable to appeal Meta's removal of content or accounts effectively. It's identified 6 patterns of censorship, content removal, suspension or permanent disabling of accounts, and restrictions on liking, commenting, sharing, or reposting. It's also found restrictions on tagging or following other accounts, limited use of certain Meta features, and shadow banning users. That means a significant drop in the visibility of their posts, stories, and accounts.
Free Palestine! No one's free until Palestine.
Shut up, Mrs. Why did some just? It's a perfectly good news bulletin, until somebody stuck that on the end of it. That woman with that Palestinian flag so you can free Palestine. Anyway, yeah. I've got another 12 days or something on my ban. That wasn't that was because somebody must have been watching my live stream, and I don't mean a Facebook booker or a shit booker. Yeah, I don't mean I'm talking about. There must have somebody on Facebook, actual people that's going around. It wasn't the algorithm that done that either. Yeah, it's a fuck, man. They started a live stream on Facebook around about probably a bit earlier than this, about 3:30 in the morning or something, when there's nobody on there, which there isn't. So I was just, talking about, and there was nobody there. There never is, just like there isn't here, because they're all arseholes, aren't you? Facebook and YouTube, actually. Now you go into TikTok, and you've got thousands of people firing it in and out all the time. Yeah, tons. I'm banned there as well, actually. Yeah, I'm banned there as well. Only because I stated support Palestine. Yeah. Yeah, there's tons of people on TikTok talking about Gaza and everything else. Yeah, because I wrote the words support Palestine. I don't know. Still no live streaming for me on there. I can still do a little short 10-minute videos. Well, that's a 10-minute video, nothing. So even they're not squeaky clean either. Definitely not. You're just as Zionist as everybody else, it seems. Well, only because Facebook's owner, Zuckerberg, has always been close friends with Netanyahu. And yet Netanyahu, he's just a puppet. He's dragging himself down. And he's so stupid he doesn't see it. They're all going to turn on him. Biden will turn on him eventually. They'll all turn on him. And they're all going to use him as a scapegoat, as a fall guy. He did it because they think we're all stupid. They think, a lot of people are stupid because, they don't know the history. Yeah, I know the history. And I know what they'll do. That's why I know that's what they'll do. That's exactly what they will do to old Netanyahu. He's going to be the fall guy. Because they know that most people in the world don't know the history. They'll know. They'll all believe it Israel's a country. And the people that are born in there, even they believe it Israel's a country and they're citizens of that country, which they're not. Because it's not a country. And it was never meant to be in the first place. But they designed it so that it would give the appearance of being a country. And with that, they had to bring people in. And those people had to have children brought up and educated under that London-styled education system they've got over there. To brainwash them into believing that the Palestinians are evil bastards. And hey, us over here in Israel, we're all saints. We've been here for thousands of years. Palestinians only arrived 10 minutes ago and tried to murder us all. And they love running about chopping people's heads off, Yeah. That's what these people are taught in school over there when they're born over there. Shit like that. Seriously. That's why most of them all believe in getting rid of the Palestinians. That's what the Zionists did to them. They've ruined a lot of people's lives. Most people that were born over there, actually, lives have been ruined. And half of them aren't even aware of it. They don't know. Imagine if they all found out and they knew the truth to be true. Yeah, you get a lot of suicides probably. You probably fucking would over there. Yeah. And then, yeah, he's definitely going to be the fall guy. Yeah. Without a doubt. He's doing fault anyway. Maybe he shouldn't be a bloodthirsty murdering bastard, but saying that, he was the very first person to get put through that education system they've got over there, created by London. So that all the children that are born there are the future Zionists, are the future of getting rid of the Palestinians. Yeah. They bred, 8.5 million. Basically, not all, they're not all. Half of them are born there anyway. All those millions of hateful people, all created by that education system in Israel, created by London. So when they grow up, they are part of that machine. That's all it is. It's a money-making machine. And it is. It's been making billions for people in the last 75 years. Yeah. And it'll continue to make more money. The more Palestinians that aren't there, the more money it will make. Especially when they start pumping all that gas over to the EU. That's what I was talking about when my live stream just went like that, right in front of my eyes on my phone. And a notice went up saying that I was trying to incite terrorism and violence. Piss off. No. I was just sitting talking about talking like I'm talking now. Besides, anyway, the only terrorists in this. I'm not going to say the Israeli people because it's not. It's not their fault. They've been educated, born there and brought up and brainwashed through an education system like that created by London. And it's not their fault. I'll even go as far to say it's not Netanyahu's fault that he is the way he is either. He was the very first person that was put into that education system. When his parents went over there, his mother was already pregnant with him. So yeah, he was the very first pupil or subject, whatever you want to call them, over there to go through that education system. That's why he's the way he is. I dare say if he was born somewhere else and put through a British education system up here in Scotland or here in England or whatever, he'd be an ordinary guy with an ordinary job. No. And they've done that to them all. That's why they're all so hateful. It's not something you cannot change. You cannot change people like that. Someone gets brainwashed, social engineered, whatever you want to call it, through education system like that since they're about 5 years old. And you'll never change it. You can't change them. They're always going to be like that. And that's what I was meaning earlier on, and I said that London has ruined millions of people's lives. And that was the whole idea. So those people would be the future of eradicating the Palestinians. They probably didn't bank on still having Netanyahu around these days. The next Prime Minister over there will be someone who's born in that country. But I don't know where they'll keep those same government ministers that are not born in Israel. They're from other countries. Obviously, they are there to watch him, to keep an eye on him. He's not the boss, is he? The whole world will find that out after this is over with in Gaza. And you'll see what will happen. It'll all turn on him. Right now, Biden's licking his arsehole. So's the EU, because they want the dead Gazans the gas once they're all dead. They're not going to get supplied with any gas until all the Gazans are dead. It's sad. It's wicked. It's evil. It's corrupt. And people like the people who have created this situation in the first place. Nah, they're not human beings. Don't ever let me hear anybody saying they are human. Netanyahu's a human being. As I said before, it's not his fault he was put through that education system over there. And all the people in London that created it are all fucking dead now. Everybody that had anything to do with the creation of that money-making machine are all dead now. Or the last one. All you've got is very greedy, corrupt people taking it all for granted. And none of them have a conscience. They don't care about human lives, whether they be children or otherwise, especially since they're not bloody white. Some of them are. A lot of them are these days. Yeah. They're terrible. Well, terrible is an understatement, actually. Yeah, the world just sit and watch it, just like they did watch the Holocaust of the Jews and other people over in Europe. That's one thing the world's great at. They're brilliant at that. Just sitting there and watching the Holocaust happen, you know. Yeah. That's all they're good for, really. Oh yeah, way back in the old days there was no social media. Today there's social media. They've all got mouths, but they don't use their mouths anyway. They write things. Like clowns that they are. Yeah. And they don't even make their own memes. They'll post other people's shite from years ago. Not even realising that it's a meme from years ago. From America or something. And we are in the UK, you know. It doesn't relate to Britain. Yeah, I've seen that often. I'm thinking, no way. I'm scrubbing that person off my friend's list. Fucking right. Thick bastard. Goodie bye. Fucking right, man. Yeah. Yeah, it's amazing the amount of people, the British, on Facebook that don't know how to make memes. I can guarantee you a 10-year-old child can make memes like that, no problem. Yeah, those grown-up adults. Yeah. Sad that, isn't it? It really is. Fuck me. Jesus Christ. At least when I was a child, the adults were more intelligent than we were. These days, it's the other way around, isn't it? The children are more intelligent than the blooming adults. Oh, it's a barking country, Britain, these days, so it is. And then you got all these people that are going to vote Labour next year who proclaim that, oh, it's a shame for the Palestinians. It's terrible what's happened to him. That shouldn't be happening. Stammer's a bastard. He's the one that's backing it all. But he's not just the only one that's backing it all. But they're the very same people that have intentions of voting for that party next year. They're brainwashed. They're fucked in the head, man. They really are. How anybody can vote for anybody like that, I'll never know. But there are people, especially in England, mainly in England, that are going to vote Labour next year. Yeah, I think we should send them to Gaza. You're fucking right. Send them and other little families off to Gaza. Why not? After all, Labour does support what's happening over there, doesn't it? So if someone's willing to vote Labour, then that somebody should be packed off to Gaza to live with the Gazans. Don't you think? I'm quite happy to spend another 5 years under the Tories, if it means keeping Stammer out. But then, the English weren't ones ever for thinking that way, were they? Yeah. That's why they committed more atrocities than bloody Adolf Hitler did. And that is true. Looking at the Red Indians alone, 100 million Red Indians dead, slaughtered. That's not including all the Africans who get slaughtered either, and all over Africa. Then you get West Indies, then you get Jamaica, then you get Raj in India, and then you get all the Aborigines. There were millions of Aborigines too. Probably a lot more than 6 million Jews. A hell of a lot more. So that's why the English always like to shout out that bullshit about the Germans in World War II. It keeps everybody thinking about that and not remembering from the history books of what England is actually fucking guilty of. Not to mention they were worse than the Germans were during World War II because of the phosphorus bombs they were using. They dropped more TNT on Germany than anybody's ever dropped anywhere. And that was all on innocent civilians. Not just Germans, but German Jewish families too. Yeah. The things you find out about the shithole you were born in, eh? Yeah. It's all front, isn't it? That's what Britain is, it's all front. Nothing else. Yeah, they've all got a front, but that's all they fucking got. They've got nothing underneath. Anyway, I'm out of here.